So this is the first video reaction video for business law and legal process. The speaker starts out saying how our world is deteriorating. She then continues to talk about what we are often told in trying to protect the environment. Often what we are told what we can do to fix the environment seems so small that it's insignificant. She points out that the apparel industry is the second most polluting industry in the world. I had no clue that was the case. One interesting number that the speaker brought up was that in the 1960s, the American people invested in 25 new pieces of clothing a year. Another fact that was brought up that was in the 1960s, 95% of clothes that the American public wore were American made. Today, we're at 2% of the clothing that we wear are made in America. She also pointed out that the percentage drop of the clothing that is American made that we wear led to an 80% loss in production jobs here in America. I have seen on my clothes that it often says polyester or a polycotton blend. I didn't know what polyester was made of. According to the speaker, polyester is a polluting plastic that is made from fossil fuels. The speaker then points out 4 things about polyester. The first thing is it's non-biodegradable. All the pieces that were originally made once polyester became a thing are still around today. The second thing is microplastics, and more specifically, microplastics in our oceans and food chains. When a garment that is made of polyester is washed, the garment sheds a little bit of the plastics, which get into the water system and then into fish or other marine life, then into our bodies when we eat said marine life. In my job at Sauter Village, we have to wear cotton dresses. They are so comfortable that when I get home, I stay in my outfit. My job is going in between air-conditioned buildings to give the workers breaks. So, in a normal day, I will be going in between a building that might be roughly 72 degrees Fahrenheit to the outside, which is 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. About 4 hours going back and forth in between. So I get overheated a whole lot. The fourth reason that the speaker gave as to why polyester is bad is because that it is energy intensive. When compared to the lowest energy intensive fabric, linen, the speaker says that the polyester is 8 times more energy intensive to make than linen. The speaker then pointed out that 40% of our clothes come from China, which is no surprise because almost everything comes from China now. Following that number was the number that 3/4 of China's energy comes from coal-based power grids. According to the speaker, coal is the dirtiest energy in the industry. The speaker then moves on to the ethicality of the companies. Companies show pictures, but a picture that we see is a small picture. We are not seeing the large picture. The speaker then talked about shadow factories, which is a term I had never heard of before. A shadow factory is where the majority of the production happens and has the worst conditions than what are shown in the pictures. The speaker also pointed out that 90% of dye houses dump the waste straight into fresh water supplies. I had never thought of that or where the dye would go. Later, the speaker talked about what we could do to help fix things. Step 1 was check the tags to see what the clothing is made out of. After you check the tag, check the seams. Her reasoning for that would be cheaper made clothings will already be tearing at the seams even when you try it on. Step 3 was to actually love what we buy, focusing more on our sense of fashion than what the marketers are portraying as what we should be wearing. Step 4 was to ask questions about the brand. Are the fabrics they're using organic? What's the names of the different factories? Are the mills that they are getting their stuff certified? The last step that she recommended was thinking of your clothing in terms of cost per wear. That's taking a shirt, saying you maybe paid $20 for it, and you wore it one time, you paid $20 for the shirt. You wear it 2 times, all of a sudden it's now $10, and so on. One interesting thing that my family does that the speaker didn't even touch on is buying secondhand clothes. I really want to say over my lifetime, I have only had 30 brand new pieces of clothing. I just always have bought secondhand. And going right along with that, when my family is done with our clothes, we take them back pretty much to the exact same places that we shop, so then they would be able to help someone else. It's obviously not as good as buying organic, all cotton fab clothing, but it's better than buying a brand new, and it's less expensive. So, yeah, this is the first reaction video.